Chosen one, the person about to change your soulmate's life will surprise you. God says, "My child, listen carefully." Someone is about to walk into your soulmate's life, and when you discover who this person is, you may realize why everything has been happening the way it has. This is not the person your soulmate expects. It is not the person everyone would immediately notice. And it may not even be someone your soulmate currently considers important. But one unexpected encounter, one conversation, or one message could become the moment that changes the direction of their life forever. Something is moving toward your soulmate right now, and the most shocking part is this. They may already have crossed paths with the very person who will change everything. Comment, "I am ready," if you are ready to receive this revelation. My child, listen carefully. Your soulmate has been carrying a question they rarely speak about. It may be a question about love, purpose, timing, or the future. They have tried to move forward while keeping certain feelings hidden behind everyday responsibilities. They may smile, work, talk, and continue living normally, yet somewhere inside, they know something is missing. They know there is a decision they have avoided. They know there is something their heart has been trying to understand. Then comes the unexpected person. At first, nothing may seem extraordinary. There may be no dramatic entrance. There may be no obvious sign. It could begin through a simple introduction, a work connection, a casual conversation, an online message, or an ordinary moment that your soulmate almost forgets. But that ordinary moment may become unforgettable later. Because this person will say or reveal something your soulmate desperately needs to hear. Not because they know your soulmate's entire story. Not because they understand every emotion. But because their presence may expose a truth your soulmate has been avoiding. Stay with me. This is where the mystery becomes deeper. My child, listen carefully. The person who changes your soulmate's life may not come to take something away. They may come to reveal something that was already there. They may help your soulmate recognize a strength they stopped believing in. They may introduce an opportunity your soulmate never considered. They may ask a question that makes your soulmate stop and think. They may even challenge an old belief that has kept your soulmate emotionally stuck. And suddenly, something shifts. Your soulmate begins looking at their life differently. They begin noticing what truly matters. They begin questioning what they have accepted for too long. A decision that once seemed impossible may suddenly feel necessary. A path they ignored may suddenly appear meaningful. And someone they once thought about only occasionally may begin occupying their thoughts again. That is where you need to pay attention. Because the person changing your soulmate's life may not be the final destination. They may be the unexpected catalyst. They may be the person who helps your soulmate see clearly enough to make a decision they were too afraid to make before. Think about how powerful that is. Sometimes one person does not enter your life to stay forever. Sometimes their presence changes the way you understand everyone who truly matters. Your soulmate may discover something through this person that causes them to rethink their own choices. They may realize they have been protecting themselves from disappointment. They may recognize that fear has influenced decisions they believed were logical. They may finally admit that pretending not to care has never truly made the feelings disappear. And then comes the question they cannot escape. What do I really want? My child, listen carefully. That question could become the beginning of a completely different emotional journey for your soulmate. The surprising person may notice something your soulmate has been hiding even from themselves. Perhaps they notice how your soulmate talks about the future. Perhaps they notice the hesitation behind certain words. Perhaps they recognize that your soulmate is emotionally connected to someone they have never fully released. They might ask one simple question. Why are you still holding back? Your soulmate may not answer immediately. They may become quiet. They may change the subject. But the question will remain. And sometimes a question is more powerful than an answer. Because once the mind hears it, it becomes difficult to forget. Later, your soulmate may be alone thinking about that conversation. They may replay the words. They may remember the tone. They may wonder why such a simple question affected them so deeply. Then something unexpected happens. They connect that question to you. They start remembering moments they had pushed aside. They remember your words. They remember your presence. They remember how they felt around you. They remember what they could not explain. And suddenly, the past begins looking different. This is why the person about to change your soulmate's life matters so much. Their greatest impact may not be what they give your soulmate. Their greatest impact may be what they help your soulmate remember. Don't skip this message. Stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. My child, listen carefully. There is another possibility that makes this revelation even more surprising. This person may already be connected to your soulmate through someone else. They could be introduced through a friend. They could appear through work. They could be connected to an opportunity. They could even be someone your soulmate has seen before without realizing their importance. That means the encounter may feel completely normal when it happens. Your soulmate may not recognize the significance at first. They may simply think, that was an interesting conversation. Then days pass. Something from that conversation returns to their mind. A sentence comes back. A question comes back. A new idea begins forming. And slowly, the influence becomes impossible to ignore. Your soulmate starts changing small things. They may become more honest. They may become more focused. They may stop chasing what no longer feels right. They may begin preparing for a different future. And somewhere within those changes, your connection begins to look different to them. They may start wondering whether they walked away from something meaningful too quickly. They may ask themselves whether silence protected them or simply delayed something important. They may wonder why your presence still carries emotional weight. Then the realization begins. The person who changed their life was never necessarily there to replace you. They may have been there to help your soulmate understand you. That is the twist. The person who seems unrelated to your love story may become the reason your soulmate finally understands what your connection means to them. And that understanding could create a decision. A decision to speak. A decision to stop hiding. A decision to finally face emotions that have been waiting for honesty. But before that happens, your soulmate must recognize one more truth. The unexpected person may show them that life does not wait forever. Opportunities change. People grow. Seasons move forward. And when your soulmate realizes this, they may no longer want to remain silent about what truly matters. My child, listen carefully. The person about to change your soulmate's life may surprise you because their appearance could look completely ordinary. But their impact may become extraordinary. And there is still one hidden detail about this person that could explain why they appear at this exact point in your soulmate's journey. That revelation changes what you should expect next. My child, listen carefully. The hidden detail is this. The person about to change your soulmate's life may arrive when your soulmate believes nothing meaningful is about to happen. That is exactly why the encounter can become so powerful. Your soulmate may think they are simply handling another normal day. They may be focused on work, responsibilities, plans, or personal concerns. They may not be searching for anything new. They may not expect an important conversation. Yet somewhere within that ordinary day, something can happen that causes them to stop and pay attention. This person may enter through an opportunity your soulmate almost ignored. They may appear because of a mutual connection. They may be introduced during a moment your soulmate considered unimportant. They may even send a message that your soulmate nearly leaves unanswered. But something makes your soulmate respond. That small choice can open a completely different direction. Comment, "I am ready," if you believe unexpected moments can carry meaningful lessons. My child, listen carefully. There is a reason your soulmate may need this person now. Your soulmate has been learning through experience, but some lessons cannot be understood until the right person asks the right question. This person may not know everything your soulmate has experienced. They may not know about every emotional disappointment. They may not know about the connection your soulmate has struggled to understand. Yet somehow, they may touch the exact subject your soulmate has been avoiding. It could happen through a simple conversation about relationships. It could happen while discussing the future. It could happen while talking about mistakes and second chances. Your soulmate may casually mention something personal, and this person may respond with a sentence that feels strangely direct. Your soulmate may laugh it off at first. Then later, they may realize those words stayed with them. That is when the real change begins. Something starts moving inside their thoughts. They begin examining choices they previously defended. They begin questioning whether their current direction truly matches their heart. They may realize that being comfortable is not always the same as being fulfilled. They may understand that avoiding a difficult conversation does not make the emotions disappear. They may begin seeing certain memories differently. Stay with me, because the next realization is even more important. My child, listen carefully. This person may become a mirror for your soulmate. Not a mirror that shows appearance, but one that reflects choices. Around this person, your soulmate may notice how they speak about love. They may notice what they avoid saying. They may notice how quickly they change certain subjects. They may notice which memories still affect them. And eventually, they may ask themselves why. Why does one person still matter after so much time? Why does one connection still return to their thoughts? Why does the future feel incomplete when they imagine it without that person? These questions can create emotional pressure, but not the kind that causes harm. It is the pressure of finally becoming honest with yourself. Your soulmate may have spent a long time trying to convince themselves that everything was settled. This unexpected person may make that belief harder to maintain. They may say, "Sometimes you already know the answer, but you are afraid of what it means." Those words could hit your soulmate deeply. They may not respond. They may simply become quiet. But inside, something begins opening. Suddenly, the person they have tried not to think about becomes impossible to ignore. That person may be you. Your soulmate may begin remembering moments that once seemed small. A look. A conversation. A message. A moment when you understood them without many words. They may remember how safe the connection felt. They may remember what they lost when distance entered the picture. And they may begin wondering whether the separation taught them something they were not ready to understand before. This is where the unexpected person becomes part of a much larger realization. They are not necessarily changing your soulmate by giving them something new. They may be changing your soulmate by helping them recognize what they already had. My child, listen carefully. Another surprising detail may soon become clear. This person could be someone who has absolutely no intention of becoming deeply involved in your soulmate's personal life. They may simply be living their own life and offering advice from their own experience. That makes their influence even more unexpected. Your soulmate may trust their words because there is no pressure behind them. There is no demand. There is no expectation. The person may simply say what they believe is true. Your soulmate may finally hear something they have needed to hear for a long time. Do not choose something just because it is easier. That sentence could change the way they look at their future. Your soulmate may begin understanding that emotional decisions cannot always be postponed. They may realize that waiting for perfect timing can become another form of fear. They may recognize that some conversations need courage more than preparation. And once they understand this, their attention may slowly turn toward you. Don't skip this message. Stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. My child, listen carefully. There may also be a practical change connected to this person. They could help your soulmate discover a new direction in work, location, personal goals, or daily life. That change could place your soulmate in a completely different environment. They might meet new people. They might gain confidence. They might become more independent. They might begin thinking about the future with greater clarity. At first, these changes may seem unrelated to your connection. But later, your soulmate may understand how every step brought them closer to a decision they had been avoiding. This is why the title carries such a powerful mystery. The person who changes your soulmate's life may not change it through romance. They may change it through timing, perspective, opportunity, or one unforgettable truth. Their role may be temporary, but their influence can leave a lasting emotional lesson. Your soulmate may eventually look back and realize that without this encounter, they might have continued living according to old assumptions. They might have kept choosing comfort over honesty. They might have continued wondering instead of acting. Then one day, something clicks. They understand that the person who entered their life unexpectedly was not there by accident in the simple sense. They were part of a chain of events that encouraged your soulmate to grow. This does not mean every event has a fixed outcome. It means meaningful moments can invite meaningful choices. Your soulmate still has free will. Your soulmate still has to decide what to do with what they learn. And that is the next mystery. Because after this person opens your soulmate's eyes, your soulmate may face a choice that involves you directly. They may have to decide whether they will continue protecting their pride or finally choose honesty. They may have to decide whether silence is truly peaceful or simply familiar. They may have to decide whether the connection they still feel deserves a sincere conversation. My child, listen carefully. The person changing your soulmate's life may become the reason they stop running from those questions. And once your soulmate reaches that point, the emotional direction can shift quickly. A simple encounter can become a powerful realization. A powerful realization can become a decision. And a decision can change the entire meaning of what happened between you. But there is still one final clue about this unexpected person. The clue may reveal why your soulmate trusts them so quickly, and why their words carry more weight than anyone expects. That is where the mystery becomes even deeper. My child, listen carefully. The clue you have been waiting for may be connected to trust. Your soulmate may trust this person because they feel no need to impress them. There is something calm about their presence. They may speak without trying to control the conversation. They may listen without immediately judging. And because of that, your soulmate may reveal something they normally keep hidden. This is where the unexpected influence becomes stronger. Your soulmate may tell them about a decision they have been avoiding. They may mention someone from their past. They may speak about a connection that still affects their thoughts. They may not say your name at first, but the meaning behind their words could be obvious to anyone paying attention. Comment, I am ready, if you are ready for the next revelation. My child, listen carefully. This person may have experienced something similar in their own life. That shared experience could be the reason your soulmate feels understood. They may not offer perfect advice. They may simply say something honest from their own experience. Your soulmate may hear those words and suddenly recognize themselves in the story. They may realize that fear can disguise itself as patience. They may realize that pride can disguise itself as independence. They may realize that silence can sometimes hide feelings instead of healing them. This realization could become one of the biggest turning points in their emotional life. Your soulmate may start thinking about the moments when they chose not to speak. They may remember messages they never sent. They may remember conversations they ended too quickly. They may remember opportunities to explain themselves that they allowed to disappear. Then something unexpected happens. They begin wondering what would happen if they stopped protecting themselves from the possibility of being vulnerable. That thought can feel uncomfortable at first. But it can also feel strangely freeing. Stay with me, because this is where the person's real influence becomes visible. My child, listen carefully. The unexpected person may encourage your soulmate to stop looking at the past through only one perspective. Your soulmate may have created a story about what happened between you. They may have decided why things changed. They may have assumed what you felt. They may have believed that distance meant the connection was finished. But this person could ask one simple question. Did you ever actually ask them? Your soulmate may become silent. That question could expose a major weakness in their old assumptions. They may realize they filled empty spaces with guesses. They may realize they never received the complete truth. They may recognize that fear allowed them to create conclusions without having every answer. Suddenly, your soulmate may begin seeing your past connection with fresh eyes. They may remember moments when your actions said more than your words. They may remember times when you were patient with them. They may remember moments when you tried to understand them. They may remember how different they felt when they were around you. And now those memories carry a different meaning. Don't skip this message. Stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. My child, listen carefully. There may be another reason your soulmate listens to this person. They may represent a version of life your soulmate secretly wants. Perhaps this person has learned to choose peace over confusion. Perhaps they have built a life based on honesty and self-respect. Perhaps they have walked through disappointment and still remained open to genuine connection. Your soulmate may admire that strength. They may begin asking themselves why they have not done the same. This admiration can become motivation. Your soulmate may start changing their habits. They may become more intentional with their time. They may stop giving energy to situations that feel empty. They may become more careful about who they allow into their emotional world. And with every change, their understanding of your connection may become clearer. They may realize that genuine love is not always loud. Sometimes it is recognized through consistency. Sometimes it is remembered through peace. Sometimes it becomes obvious only after someone experiences enough confusion to understand what clarity feels like. The person changing your soulmate's life may help them recognize that difference. That is why this person can become so important without ever trying to become important. Their role may simply be to hold up a different example. Your soulmate sees it. Your soulmate thinks about it. Then your soulmate begins comparing it with their own choices. This can create a powerful internal shift. They may no longer feel satisfied with pretending everything is fine. They may want something more honest. They may want relationships that feel real. They may want conversations where feelings do not have to be hidden. And that desire may bring your name back into their thoughts. My child, listen carefully. There is something else you need to understand. The person who changes your soulmate's life may not know anything about the deeper connection between you and your soulmate. They may never realize that their advice has anything to do with you. That is what makes the situation so surprising. Their words can influence your soulmate without them knowing the full story. Your soulmate may walk away from their conversation carrying a completely different question. What if I have been wrong about this connection? That question can become impossible to ignore. Your soulmate may start noticing emotional patterns they previously dismissed. They may realize that certain memories keep returning because they were never fully understood. They may recognize that moving forward does not always mean forgetting. Sometimes moving forward means finally understanding what happened. And understanding can create a new choice. A new choice can create a new conversation. A new conversation can create a new beginning. But your soulmate must first become brave enough to face the truth they have been avoiding. The unexpected person may help them reach that courage. Not by forcing them. Not by making promises. Simply by showing them that honesty is possible. My child, listen carefully. You may soon notice that your soulmate behaves differently if contact between you becomes possible. They may speak more openly. They may ask questions they avoided before. They may seem more reflective. They may want to understand what you truly felt instead of assuming it. They may also become more careful with their words. That can happen when someone realizes the past still matters. Your soulmate may not suddenly have every answer. But they may finally become willing to search for those answers. And that willingness is significant. Because the person who changes your soulmate's life may not deliver the final revelation themselves. They may simply open the door. Your soulmate must decide whether to walk through it. This is where free choice becomes important. No spiritual message can guarantee another person's actions. What matters is the possibility of growth and the choices that follow it. Your soulmate may choose honesty. They may choose reflection. They may choose to reach out. They may choose another path. But something inside them has been awakened. And once a person begins questioning what they truly want, returning completely to the old mindset becomes difficult. My child, listen carefully. The person who changes your soulmate's life may ultimately become memorable for one reason. They helped your soulmate stop pretending that their heart had no unanswered questions. And now those questions are rising. The next revelation is about what your soulmate may do after finally admitting the truth to themselves. That moment could bring the entire mystery closer to you than you expect. My child, listen carefully. The moment your soulmate finally admits the truth to themselves may be closer than they realize. It may begin quietly, without any dramatic announcement. They may simply sit alone after a long day and think about everything that has happened. They may remember the unexpected person who challenged their thinking. They may remember the question that stayed in their mind. Then they may realize something they have tried to avoid. Their life has been changing because their perspective has been changing. Comment, I am ready, if you are prepared for what comes next. My child, listen carefully. Your soulmate may begin looking at their past with more honesty than before. They may stop blaming timing for every disappointment. They may stop assuming that distance automatically means the connection had no meaning. They may stop telling themselves that silence was the easiest answer. Instead, they may begin asking what their own choices contributed to the situation. That can be an emotional realization. It requires courage. It also creates clarity. Your soulmate may recognize that they were protecting their heart by avoiding certain truths. They may have believed that staying quiet kept everything under control. But now they may understand that silence also kept them from knowing what could have happened. The unexpected person may have helped them see this without even knowing it. That is why their influence becomes so powerful. They did not tell your soulmate who to choose. They helped your soulmate understand how to choose honestly. Stay with me, because the next shift is where your connection becomes more important. My child, listen carefully. Your soulmate may begin thinking about one particular moment between you. It could be something you said. It could be a small act of kindness. It could be a conversation that ended before either of you understood its importance. Your soulmate may suddenly remember how natural the connection felt. They may remember how easily they could talk with you. They may remember the feeling of being understood without explaining every detail. That memory may return at an unexpected time. Perhaps they are driving home. Perhaps they are sitting quietly before sleep. Perhaps they hear a song that reminds them of another season in their life. Suddenly, your presence comes back into focus. This time, they may not push the thought away. They may let themselves remember. And that simple decision can reveal more than they expected. Your soulmate may realize that they never truly stopped caring. They may have simply learned how to stay busy enough not to think about it. But being busy is not the same as being healed. Being distant is not the same as being finished. And moving forward is not always the same as letting go. My child, listen carefully. This is where the unexpected person may have their greatest influence. Your soulmate may remember something that person said about unfinished conversations. They may realize that some answers cannot be found through guessing. They must come through honest communication. Your soulmate may begin considering whether they should finally speak with you. That thought may bring excitement and hesitation at the same time. They may wonder how you would respond. They may wonder whether too much time has passed. They may wonder whether you still care. They may even worry that they misunderstood your feelings. But something has changed. Before, fear was stronger than curiosity. Now, curiosity may become stronger than fear. Your soulmate may start thinking about what they would say if they had one honest conversation with you. They may imagine explaining things they never explained. They may imagine asking questions they never asked. They may imagine hearing your side without defending their own. That is emotional growth. It does not guarantee a specific outcome. But it creates a new willingness to understand. Don't skip this message. Stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. My child, listen carefully. There may also be a surprising change in how your soulmate views the person who entered their life. At first, they may simply appreciate their advice. Later, they may realize that this person arrived during a very specific emotional season. They may recognize that the conversation happened when they needed a different perspective. They may think about how strange the timing was. They may wonder why that person appeared when they were questioning their future. This realization may make your soulmate more grateful. But they may also understand something important. The unexpected person is not responsible for the choices your soulmate makes next. Your soulmate is. That distinction matters. The person may have opened their eyes, but your soulmate must decide what to do with what they now see. This can create a stronger sense of responsibility. Your soulmate may stop waiting for circumstances to make decisions for them. They may understand that sometimes the future changes only after someone chooses to act differently. That could lead them toward a practical decision. They may change a routine. They may accept an opportunity. They may visit a place they avoided. They may reconnect with someone. They may finally send a message they wrote several times but never sent. One small action can become the beginning of a much larger emotional shift. My child, listen carefully. The person changing your soulmate's life may also help them understand the difference between attention and connection. Your soulmate may have experienced situations where attention felt exciting but lacked depth. They may have confused being noticed with being valued. They may have confused temporary comfort with genuine understanding. Through this unexpected person, they may begin seeing those differences more clearly. They may start asking whether a relationship brings peace, honesty, respect, and emotional safety. And when they compare those qualities with what they remember about you, something may become difficult to ignore. They may realize that the connection with you carried qualities they did not fully appreciate at the time. That realization may not happen instantly. It may grow through several quiet moments. They may remember one thing today and another tomorrow. They may notice another connection feels different. They may hear a familiar phrase and remember your voice. Slowly, the emotional picture becomes clearer. This is how a major realization can develop without one dramatic event. It happens through small pieces finally connecting. My child, listen carefully. There is another layer that may surprise you. Your soulmate may begin changing not only because they want to understand you, but because they want to become someone worthy of the future they imagine. They may realize that love requires maturity. They may understand that strong feelings alone cannot create a healthy connection. Communication matters. Accountability matters. Consistency matters. Your soulmate may start working on themselves because they no longer want to repeat old patterns. That growth may be the greatest change this unexpected person inspires. They may help your soulmate understand that before asking for another chance, a person must become honest about what they would do differently. This can make your soulmate more thoughtful. They may not rush toward you. They may first want to understand themselves. That pause should not automatically be mistaken for rejection. Sometimes reflection comes before action. Sometimes people need to understand their own heart before they can speak clearly to another person. Your soulmate may be entering that reflective space now. And the more they understand, the harder it becomes to ignore what still matters. My child, listen carefully. The most important revelation is approaching. The unexpected person may soon create another moment that pushes your soulmate toward a decision. It may happen through one final conversation. It may happen through a question. It may happen through an opportunity that forces your soulmate to choose between staying comfortable and becoming honest. Whatever form it takes, your soulmate may finally realize that the person who changed their life was never the center of the story. The center was the truth they helped reveal. And that truth may lead your soulmate back toward a connection they once believed they had to leave behind. The next moment could be the one where thought becomes action. The next step could reveal whether your soulmate is ready to stop hiding behind uncertainty. And when that happens, the meaning of this unexpected person may become completely clear. My child, listen carefully. There comes a moment when a person stops asking what happened and starts asking what they will do next. Your soulmate may be approaching that moment now. The unexpected person has already helped them see things differently. They have challenged old assumptions and opened a door inside your soulmate's mind. But now your soulmate must decide what happens beyond that door. This is where the real transformation begins. Comment, I am ready, if you are ready for this final revelation. My child, listen carefully. Your soulmate may soon realize that the greatest change was never about meeting someone new. It was about becoming someone new. The unexpected person may have shown them that life can move forward without carrying every old fear. They may have shown them that honesty does not always create loss. Sometimes honesty creates clarity. Your soulmate may begin understanding that certain emotional patterns kept repeating because they were never confronted. They may have avoided difficult conversations because they feared the answer. They may have stayed silent because silence felt safer than rejection. But now, something inside them is different. They are beginning to understand that avoiding an answer is still a choice. And sometimes that choice has a cost. This realization can make your soulmate look differently at everything connected to their heart. They may become less interested in temporary attention. They may stop chasing approval. They may begin valuing people who make them feel understood rather than simply noticed. That is a powerful shift. Stay with me, because this change can affect the way your soulmate sees you. My child, listen carefully. Your soulmate may begin comparing their emotional experiences without even realizing it. They may notice how certain conversations leave them feeling empty. Then they may remember conversations with you that felt completely different. They may remember how they could be themselves around you. They may remember the moments when your presence brought calm instead of confusion. They may remember how you listened when they struggled to explain themselves. Those memories may become stronger because they now understand what they were missing. The unexpected person may have given your soulmate a new standard for emotional honesty. Your soulmate may suddenly recognize that connection is not about constant excitement. It is about being able to trust what is real. This realization could make them question some choices they once defended. They may wonder why they allowed distance to become permanent. They may wonder whether pride became stronger than their feelings. They may wonder whether they were protecting themselves or simply avoiding vulnerability. Those questions can become difficult to silence. And when your soulmate finally stops fighting those questions, something important can happen. They may begin accepting their own truth. My child, listen carefully. Acceptance does not always arrive as a dramatic emotional moment. Sometimes it arrives as a quiet sentence inside the mind. I still care. That sentence may carry more weight than your soulmate expects. They may sit with it for a while. They may try to dismiss it. They may tell themselves that caring does not mean anything. But the thought keeps returning. Then another truth may appear. I never really stopped wondering. That realization can become even stronger. Your soulmate may start thinking about where you are. They may wonder how your life has changed. They may wonder whether you still remember them. They may wonder whether you would even want to hear from them. These questions may create hesitation. But now the hesitation is different. It is no longer about denying the connection. It is about finding the courage to approach it honestly. Don't skip this message. Stay until the end. The deepest part of this revelation is still unfolding. My child, listen carefully. The unexpected person may eventually say something that gives your soulmate the final push they need. It may be simple. It may not sound spiritual or dramatic. It could be something like, if someone matters to you, do not let fear make the decision for you. Your soulmate may hear those words and immediately think of you. They may realize that they have allowed fear to speak on their behalf for too long. They may understand that nobody else can make their emotional choices for them. This person may not know why their words landed so deeply. They may simply continue with their own life. But your soulmate may carry those words into the night. They may replay the conversation. They may open their phone and look at an old message. They may search through memories they once tried to put away. Then they may stop. They may realize that the answer they have been looking for is not hidden in the past. It is hidden in what they are willing to do now. That is a major difference. Your soulmate may no longer want to live through assumptions. They may want clarity. They may want to know the truth directly. They may want to understand whether the connection between you still has meaning for both of you. This does not promise a specific outcome. It simply shows a new willingness to face reality with honesty. My child, listen carefully. The person who changes your soulmate's life may also change the timing of everything. Your soulmate could become more intentional about reaching out. They may wait until they can speak calmly. They may choose their words carefully. They may not want to repeat old mistakes. They may want to apologize for something they handled poorly. They may want to explain something they never explained before. They may simply want to ask how you are doing. Whatever the first step looks like, the important change is within them. They are no longer waiting for life to force a decision. They are beginning to take responsibility for their own choices. And that can completely change the emotional atmosphere between two people. A conversation that once felt impossible may suddenly feel necessary. A memory that once caused confusion may finally make sense. A distance that once seemed permanent may begin feeling less certain. This is why the unexpected person matters. They may become the bridge between confusion and clarity. They may never know the full impact they had. They may never realize that one conversation helped someone reconsider an entire chapter of their life. Yet that is often how meaningful influence works. It does not always announce itself. Sometimes it simply leaves a thought behind. That thought grows quietly until someone is ready to act on it. My child, listen carefully. There is one more truth you should hold close. You do not need to force anything to make this revelation meaningful. You do not need to chase your soulmate. You do not need to create signs or pressure another person into choosing you. Your role is to remain grounded in your own value. If your soulmate truly begins seeing things differently, their actions must come from their own understanding. That is what makes the transformation genuine. You can hope without forcing. You can care without losing yourself. You can remain open while still respecting your own peace. And if your soulmate reaches a new level of honesty, you will be able to judge that change through actions rather than promises. That is the lesson hidden inside this entire revelation. The person changing your soulmate's life may surprise you because they are not necessarily changing your soulmate for themselves. They are helping your soulmate discover what kind of person they want to become. They may help them understand what they value. They may help them recognize what they lost. They may help them face what they still feel. And eventually, your soulmate must decide what those realizations mean. My child, listen carefully. The unexpected person may walk away from the conversation believing they simply offered ordinary advice. Your soulmate may walk away knowing something inside them has changed. They may never forget that moment. They may remember the exact words when doubt returns. They may remember the courage they felt afterward. Most importantly, they may remember you. Not as an old memory they need to avoid, but as someone connected to a truth they finally allowed themselves to face. And that is the real surprise. The person about to change your soulmate's life may not become important because they take your place. They may become important because they help your soulmate understand why your place was never as easily erased as they believed. The next chapter of their choices will belong to them. But the person who awakened that realization may remain one of the most unexpected influences your soulmate has ever encountered. And sometimes, one unexpected person is enough to make someone finally see what their heart has been trying to tell them all along. My child, listen carefully. Before you leave this message, remember what you have discovered. The person about to change your soulmate's life may not be the person you expected. Their influence may arrive quietly through one conversation, one opportunity, or one honest question. But the deeper meaning is not about chasing a prediction. It is about recognizing how one unexpected encounter can help someone become more honest about their choices, their emotions, and their future. Your soulmate may be learning lessons that change how they understand connection. They may begin seeing old memories differently. They may become more willing to communicate instead of assuming. They may start choosing honesty over fear and clarity over confusion. And if your paths cross again, let the connection unfold naturally. Do not force it. Do not chase it. Let actions reveal what words cannot. My child, listen carefully. If this message touched something inside you, take a quiet moment and reflect on what it means for your own journey. Sometimes the most important change begins when we stop trying to control the outcome. You deserve a connection built on honesty, respect, peace, and genuine effort. So if you feel ready for whatever comes next, write, "I trust the journey," in the comments. Your comment can be your personal reminder to remain open while protecting your peace. If this message helped you, share it with someone who may need these words today. And if you want more spiritual soulmate messages, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Stay connected for the next message, because another revelation may speak directly to the questions you have been carrying quietly. Thank you for staying until the end. Keep your heart open, keep your mind clear, and remember that sometimes the person who changes everything does not arrive to become the answer. Sometimes they arrive to help you finally recognize it. Type Amen.